My life, my yoga.
Tune in for some happiness. Tune in for some fun. Tune in late at night or tune in the sun. This is TFM. Get ready to rock. From AM to PM. Come on. Let's talk.
Presenting TFM. The most happening music, the most important news, and most importantly, your views. At Times of Oman radio station. TFM. Let's talk.
Live on TFM and the TFM Facebook page. This is the live feed of TTV. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. Here's the latest update from our newsroom. The Ministry of Health today announced the registration of 4 new coronavirus deaths in Oman. The death toll has now touched 108 in Oman due to the virus so far, the officials at the Ministry of Health informed. They also extended their deepest condolences to the family of the deceased. Officials at the Ministry of Health also announced the registration of 1,043 new coronavirus cases in the country today. 614 of the new cases are Omani nationals and 429 for non-Omanis, bringing the total number of coronavirus cases registered in the Sultanate to 24,524. According to the Ministry of Health, this number also includes the recovery of 9,533 patients and 108 deaths. The ministry urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health, as well as staying at home and not going out unless necessary. Wilayat of Sib has now recorded the most number of COVID-19 cases reported in Oman on Sunday, having surpassed Wilayat Matra this week. According to government data on Sunday, the number of total coronavirus cases reported in Sib now stands at 5,677 after 407 more people were reported to be infected by it on Sunday. 244 new infections were reported in Matra on Sunday as well, which took the total there to 5,666. There have been 4,660 reported cases of the disease in Wilayat Boshar, with these 3 areas making up the bulk of all reported instances of COVID-19 in Oman. The incidence of reported cases in Amirat stands at 870, Muscat at 394, and Kuryat at 138, continue to be far less than in the capital governorate. There had been 23,481 reported cases of the coronavirus in the country in Sunday. Sib accounts for 24.17% of all reported cases in the country, while Matra accounts for a shade less at 24.13%. Boshar represents 19.8% of COVID-19 infections reported. Outside the capital region, the highest increase in COVID-19 infection was seen in the governorate of Dhofar, which was recently placed under lockdown to reduce the potential spread of infections there. Dhofar recorded 82 new cases, taking the total there to 163. The Ministry of Health, represented by the Department of Blood Bank Services and in collaboration with the World Health Organization Office, organized a blood donation campaign coinciding with World Blood Donor Day that comes this year under the theme Save Blood Saves Lives, promoted with the slogan Give Blood and Make the World a Healthier Place. His Highness Sayyid Kamil bin Fahad Al Said, Assistant Secretary General for the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministries, participated in this campaign by donating blood in support of the blood transfusion services. Oman WHO office personnel further participated in the campaign by donating blood. It is worth noting that during the recent press conference of the Supreme Committee in charge of discussing mechanisms to deal with the coronavirus, Dr. Ahmad bin Muhammad Al Saidi, Minister of Health, thanked the blood donors for saving many lives of those who need blood, urging them to continue their generous contribution. Meanwhile, the Department of Blood Bank Services calls on citizens and residents to continue donating blood. The department thanks and praises all blood donors for their unlimited support for blood transfusion services in the Sultanate. Oman Post has launched an exclusive stamp in recognition of the efforts of the Omani authorities in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. The Oman Faces Corona stamp is available from June 22nd, and 40% of the proceeds will be donated to the Ministry of Health's Endowment Fund, which was recently established to help support health services. Depicting some of the frontline workers who are selflessly working to keep the country safe, the unique issue includes stamp, souvenir sheet, and first day cover. Indian expats returning home from Oman and other foreign countries during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic can register on a new website set up to offer companies a pool of skilled, talented workers from which to recruit. The website is run by the Government of India's National Skill Development Corporation and is called Swades, the Hindi word for motherland, and in this case is also an acronym for Skilled Workers Arrival Database for Employment Support. A statement from the Embassy of India in Oman said the Government of India is conducting skill mapping of overseas returning citizens through the Vande Bharat mission. If you're interested, fill your Swades skill card now. Information will be shared with private Indian and foreign companies to reach out to you directly for further employment opportunities if they need someone with your skills, said the embassy. In addition to that, we have a very special guest joining us for the show today. Let's welcome His Excellency Munu Mahawar, Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure for me to join all of you.
It's an absolute honor to have you on our show today, sir. Starting with my first question, Your Excellency, how many Indians have so far applied for the repatriation flight?
Well, let me begin by saying that we have been working very closely with Government of Oman, various authorities of Oman, to deal with the challenges emanating from COVID-19 crisis. And I would say that cooperation between India and Oman has been in true spirit of the strategic partnership relationship that we have between our two countries. Yes, a large number of Indians desire to return to India, travel to India for reasons. And this is natural because before the outbreak of COVID, we used to have close to 250 flights a week between our two countries. So we expected the numbers to be high, but we are deliberately not releasing the numbers because it has also been our experience that all those who are registering are not necessarily traveling back to India. So I would suggest that we look at the numbers of those who have already traveled and those who would be traveling in the coming days.
Thank you, Your Excellency. How many passengers have been flown home in total? Could you break this down by phase for us, please?
So as of now, close to 9,000 Indian nationals have traveled back to India since the beginning of this operation, which started in Oman on May 9th. We have repatriated people on Vande Bharat mission flights, and we have also now started repatriating people on charter flights being engaged by various companies or social organizations. So if I go by the figures, then we have, as I said,
Your Excellency, sorry, I'm kind of losing you here.
9,000 people, out of which around 10 people have on one flights, people on and flights. Let me explain it a little bit.
Sorry, Your Excellency, Sorry,
through
Your
which
Excellency,
people
we
are returning.
had this technical glitch in between. Could you please repeat it from the beginning? We kind of lost you there.
Okay, no problem. So, as I said, around 9,000 people have returned to India as on date, out of which 6,000 have returned on Vande Bharat flights being organized by Government of India, and 3,000 on charter flights, which are organized by various companies or social organizations. And this process will continue in the future as well. We plan to organize another 15 flights under Vande Bharat mission, and then many more charter flights will also be organized.
As we all know, Your Excellency, that the Indian Embassy is doing a tremendous job in helping with the repatriation flights and helping the Indian nationals in Oman day in and day out. In terms of applicants that you're receiving, Your Excellency, what is the majority of applicants, which states they belong to in India? And also, could we have a breakup of that too?
So let me say that roughly the registrations are in proportion to the size of diaspora from different parts of India in Oman. So the states from which maximum number of people reside in Oman are the states to which maximum number of people wish to return to. We have received requests from people from all over Oman and wishing to go to different parts of India, and that's why if you see the kind of flights we have organized, they cover the entire territory of India. But yes, we do have a largest number of requests going to Kerala and then to some other southern states. But that is natural given the composition of the diaspora we have in Oman.
Thank you. Your Excellency, I know that you guys are receiving applicants in numbers of thousands. What are the main reasons that you have seen so far for these applicants?
So, as of now, our effort has been to give priority to those who wish to return to India for compelling reasons. And we identify compelling reasons as, first of all, cases of medical emergency, cases of family emergency, or stranded travelers, or people who have lost their jobs, and so on and so forth. I would say a majority of the people who are approaching us belong to these broad categories. Yes, there are a number of people who got stranded here. They came on a visitor visa and then they wanted to return. They were here for a short visit, but because of disruption in flight services, they could not return. So a sizable number do belong to this category as well. But these are broadly the reasons why people wish to return to India.
So are there any plans to bring back the children of Indian expats in Oman who are stuck back in India?
Well, we have been in regular contact with Government of Oman, primarily with Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And currently, Government of Oman is allowing entry of non-nationals, including resident visa holders, only on case-by-case basis. And we are grateful that in some cases they have allowed, but then these requests essentially are shared by us with the Government of Oman, and the decision on this issue rests with the Government of Oman, and we work through this process.
Right. Your Excellency, you know that we are live right now on Facebook and other social media platforms, and we are getting a lot of questions. While we were talking about children in India, there is a concern by Vijay Raja Kumar, who's asking that if there are any steps to bring children studying in India back to Muscat.
Well, I think our advice to all those who are in such situation would be to maintain contact with Omani embassy in the country wherever their children are, and register their requests. I think the process on this is that this is a decision of the Government of Oman, and as and when they approve return of such persons, I'm sure these people or these persons, children, would be able to return to Oman. So I would advise all of them to remain in touch with the Embassy of Oman on this matter. And of course, all requests that are reaching us, we also share with the government of Oman, with Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Right, as you may know, Your Excellency, that the situation is pretty tough, and with the outbreak of COVID-19, everything has been very chaotic, and a lot of Indian expats here are finding it hard to pay their children's school fees. Are there any plans to support them through the embassy?
Well, the affairs of Indian schools are governed by a board of directors, in which embassy also has representatives. The board of directors has already taken several decisions to alleviate the hardship being faced by parents and children, particularly on school fee front. First of all, they have decided to reduce fee to the extent that fee is now limited to tuition fee. No other charges are being paid. Secondly, it is possible for parents to now pay fee on monthly basis. Earlier, it used to be on quarterly basis. Thirdly, the annually there used to be a fee hike by various schools. Now, based on a decision taken by the board of directors, the fee hike has been deferred. So the board is continuously monitoring the situation and taking measures, and I'm sure these steps which have already been taken by the board would go a long way in addressing the challenges being faced by parents in this regard.
Right, Your Excellency, we all are aware of the excellent work that the embassy is doing in terms of the welfare of the Indian nationals in Oman. And as you pointed out earlier, Your Excellency, that close to 9,000 Indians have been repatriated. So, as you may know, Your Excellency, there are a lot of blue-collar Indian workers in Oman, and sometimes it's not possible for them to afford their flight ticket. Is there any help drawn to them in this regard?
Well, we, of course, are doing our best to extend whatever support and assistance we can provide. First of all, let me highlight the fact that the repatriation flights which are being organized by Government of India are subsidized flights. The planes are coming empty. They are taking passengers only on one leg of the journey, and the ticket prices have been fixed, which are quite reasonable. Second, a large number of workers are also being sent back by the companies who are chartering planes, and therefore, the cost of journey is undertaken by the company that employ these workers. There are some cases in which we have provided assistance. These essentially relate to the destitute housemates which live in embassy's shelter, but by and large, our approach has been to do our best to address the issues being faced by this most vulnerable segment of the
Your Excellency, I'm going to take a few questions in between right now. Mohammed Zain Khan is asking if there is going to be any flights to Bangalore. Another gentleman, Suresh Muraya, is also asking if there are any going to be flights to Jaipur.
Well, there is a flight to Bangalore very soon, I think tomorrow itself. And from time to time, we keep announcing the schedule of flights. I would urge all of you to follow Embassy's webpage, Embassy's Twitter handle. These flights are announced well in advance, and it's an evolving process. So I will not be able to tell you how many flights. All I can tell you, the flights that have already been scheduled, their schedule has already been put out on Embassy's webpage and on Twitter handle. So you can check from these sources.
Your Excellency, there is another request from Kauthuri Rakesh asking if you can please arrange flights to Hyderabad in India.
We'll try our best, definitely.
Sorry, Your Excellency, we have a lot of people coming in and, asking their queries right now. Another, I don't know what this name is, but I just read the surname. It's Sukhadri, asking if there is any chance for him to fly to Mumbai as due to the COVID situation. He has lost his job and his family and himself would really like to travel as soon as possible to Mumbai.
So I know you must be receiving lots of queries about plans to travel back to India. Let me convey through you to all those who wish to travel to India. A, please register with the embassy. B, if you have any queries, we have helplines available. You can also contact us through emails. We are closely following all the information that we are receiving. Please also understand that we have limitations in terms of number of flights that can be operated at any given point of time. And therefore, it is possible that you may have registered, you may have sent mails, but yet you may not have got us so far. Please be patient. We will continue to organize such flights, and I'm sure all those who wish to travel to India will be able to do so in due course.
Your Excellency, there are more requests coming for flights to Tamil Nadu and Bihar as well. People are requesting if you can arrange more flights to these two states in India as well.
I think now you got a sense of the kind of calls we are getting on our helpline, and advise all of them to redirect their requests to us, and we will definitely take them into account.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Continuing with the series of our questions now. With many of the passport services closed at the moment, there is likely going to be a backlog, in services such as passport renewal and attestation services. So once everything is back in order, how are you planning to tackle this?
So, well, passport services are now effectively fully functional. The only change is that we have still not provided for a walk-in. You still have to take prior appointments. But we are processing passports. We are processing attestation requests. In fact, it's almost now 200 passports per day and 80 attestation services per day. So there is no backlog. We will be able to provide these services very quickly.
Your Excellency, how many Indians have been given food assistance ever since the precautions, have been taken place in the wake of coronavirus across Oman?
So let me first of all again begin by thanking the authorities of Government of Oman for taking good care of the Indian diaspora here. Even when we were facing the situation of severe lockdown in some pockets of Muscat area, the Government of Oman authorities, the social organizations, they worked closely with us to ensure that everyone who requires some assistance is provided with that kind of assistance. We have been working very closely with the Indian Social Club, with various social workers, distributing food kits. The embassy itself has distributed more than 11,000 food kits and individual kits, as well as close to 500 family kits. And this is what has been provided by the embassy. The social organizations, the Indian Social Club, the social workers, they have also provided assistance on their own. So by and large, this has been a very effective operation. All those who require assistance in Muscat area, as well as in different parts of Oman, including remote areas, we have been able to reach out and help them in their hour of need.
Your Excellency, earlier you mentioned about the Vande Bharat mission. Could you please tell us about the next phase?
So as of now, we have announced flights up to 30th June, and that schedule is already available. It is possible that we may schedule more flights, and we will, of course, immediately make announcements as soon as additional flights are scheduled. So evolving situation. We have announced to 30th June that we meet. Just our by or handle, you will be able to come to know when the additional flights are scheduled.
Sorry, Your Excellency, I would really like to request you to repeat the last part again.
Just to repeat, the schedule of flight up to June 30th has already been announced. It is possible that we may organize additional flights. As and when we decide to organize more flights, we will make announcements. Everyone should follow our webpage and Twitter handle for information.
And Your Excellency, like you said earlier, that you have been receiving a lot of requests for different states to hold repatriation flights, and a lot of Indians living across Oman would really like to return back to India. And knowing, with this platform, knowing that how many requests you have been receiving on a daily basis, is it possible for these Indian expats who are not getting a chance to fly back to their particular state, they can get on one of the repatriation flights, and from there they can take another domestic flight to travel within India? Is it possible for them to do that?
No, it is not possible as of now, because there is a requirement of quarantine at the port of arrival. Only after completing the quarantine, people can take domestic flights and move to other stations. So that is why we have not been taking passengers of other states. We have been trying to, maintain homogeneity for these flights because of quarantine requirements and restrictions in domestic air travel.
Are any shipments of medicines and medical professionals expected to come from India to Oman to help with the COVID-19 pandemic in the country?
Well, as I said, we have been working very closely with Government of Oman, and from our side, whatever assistance that has been sought, we have been able to provide. Initially, the request was to create awareness among the diaspora, and we work very closely with Ministry of Health in doing so. Thereafter, we have received requests for supply of hydroxychloroquine sulfate, a substance that is used to make HCQ tablets, and we have approved supply of these items to Government of Oman. We are in contact with the Government of Oman if they require additional assistance, including in terms of return of health personnel or engaging health personnel from India. We will be happy to work with them. We maintain very close contact with the Omani authorities, and I'm sure in the coming days we will continue to work together to address the challenges of COVID-19.
Your Excellency, there is another question from Arun Pinto. He's asking if there is any update about bringing people back to Oman from India because of their families being in Oman and some people living in India. Is there any way to go about it?
Yes, but before addressing this question, let me also add one more aspect of the cooperation between India and Oman. In this whole COVID crisis, India has proved to be a very reliable supplier of essential commodities to Oman. And again, in that regard also, we have worked closely. We have been able to provide supplies by air and by ship routes. So it has really shown the resilience of our partnership, our cooperation in this crucial area. Regards Indians, resident card holders wishing to return to Oman, This is an issue which is not really India specific. I'm sure there are people from different parts of the world of different nationalities who are normally resident in Oman. They must be wanting to return to Oman, but this is an issue on which the decision rests with government of Oman. Our suggestion is kindly maintain contact with the Omani embassy, your respective countries. Of course, you can send us also, and as and when Oman will take it, but I'm sure to return.
Your Excellency, there's another question from Asma Sheikh asking if you have already planned out the schedule of repatriation flights for the month of July, and when is it likely going to start? Your Excellency, can you hear me?
Not yet.
Okay, Your Excellency, there is a
Will make announcements. Not yet formed up for July. Can you hear me?
yeah, your voice is
Okay.
breaking a lot, Your Excellency. If you could just repeat it, please.
Okay, let me repeat this. So far, the repatriation plan for July has not yet been worked out. We will make announcement as soon as flights are scheduled for July.
Thank you, Your Excellency. What are the major challenges being faced by the Indian community in Oman at the moment, and how is the Embassy of India dealing with those issues?
Well, the challenges being faced by Indian community in Oman are similar to the challenges which are being faced by others. Uh, this is an extraordinary situation, a very unusual situation, a situation we have never confronted before. People are being, people are required to remain confined to their homes or work remotely or take all sorts of precautions. I mean, this is really an unusual situation which poses different types of challenges. Uh, but I must say that the measures that have been taken by government of Oman under the leadership of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, under the direction of the Supreme Committee, I think Oman has addressed this crisis very well, and as a result, today Oman is the least affected country in the GCC. Of course, when you remain in a lockdown situation, there are challenges of livelihood, there are challenges of healthcare, there are challenges relating to education, but we have been working very closely with government of Oman. We remain in close contact with the Indian community through social workers as well as through direct interaction, and we try to render whatever assistance we can.
A lot of questions are coming in, Your Excellency, about children who are stuck in India and some students who actually want to get on the flight from Mumbai to Muscat. I have already mentioned them that you have explained this earlier, and they should actually listen to the interview once it's finished live. And hopefully the questions that you have raised has been answered by His Excellency Munu Mahawar. I'm sorry that I cannot take so many questions right now because we don't have so much time, and we still have so many questions to ask His Excellency right now. Your Excellency, could you please share us the 3 cases of people who urgently needed flights to home, and how was it dealt with?
Well, I think a large number of cases which we have been, accommodating on our repatriation flight are of compelling nature. It's very challenging for me to single out cases, but I do remember, cases of people coming from Salalah requiring medical assistance, which was not available in Oman, and the person had to travel to India, and we were fortunate enough to bring him to Muscat and then take him to India on one of the repatriation flights. We've had situations where a group of people in areas as far away as Musandam, they wanted to return, and we were able to organize their return. We have had many cases, of pregnant ladies who really don't have, a support system here. They are keen to return to India, be with their families, so that the newborn baby can be taken care of, and we have been able to organize the repatriation. Uh, I would say, and then we have had cases of stranded visitors, elderly couples who would have come here for a very short visit, but got stranded. I would say that when you are able to help people who are in such pressing need, it does give you a lot of satisfaction. So we are happy that we have been able to provide assistance to people in need. And this would not have been, of course, possible without the support and cooperation of Government of Oman and Omani authorities, as well as authorities in India.
Your Excellency, there is a question from Muhammad Sakir. He is asking that if an Indian national cannot afford a flight ticket back to home, can he apply through Indian Community Welfare Fund in Oman?
Well, yes, we will be happy to receive requests from all those who need assistance from us, and we will, of course, consider within the guidelines that are available to us.
Your Excellency, could you please talk about the assistance that Oman's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has provided during this time?
Well, I think I have nothing but words of appreciation for the kind of support we have received from Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Oman, and this has worked in both directions. We have cooperated with them regularly, and we continue to do so for organization of these repatriation flights, for delivery of food assistance to our people. We have worked very closely with them when they mounted flights to bring back Omani nationals from India. We have been able to work with them and bring back some Omani nationals on Vande Bharat flights from India. And then, at every stage, when we need some support, some cooperation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is available to us. And I would like to really thank the Minister and the entire team for their support. And I would like to take this opportunity to also convey my appreciation to other authorities of Government of Oman, in particular Ministry of Health, Royal Oman Police, Civil Aviation Authority, PACA. They have all been extremely helpful and supportive in this, high pressure period for all of us.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the eternal support that you have provided throughout the session, answering all the live questions. We have a lot of questions coming in right now, but unfortunately, due to the shortage of time, we cannot take all the questions. But thank you once again for being here and answering to the questions and the queries of the people who had related to the repatriation flights, to the school fees, to all the issues that they had in mind.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. In concluding, I would also like to, first of all, encourage everyone to follow the guidelines issued by Government of Oman. Stay safe, stay healthy, practice yoga. Soon we will be observing International Day of Yoga on June 20th. And the embassy, in collaboration with various yoga organizations, are organizing events, live events, and I think these alternative schools help you build immunity, which is very critical in this time in this period of COVID. So I invite all of you, all your viewers, to actively participate in these events and join us for the International Day of Yoga event on June 20th.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. It was definitely an honor to have you on our show today. Thank you so much once again. Thank you to all the viewers and listeners out there. We'll be back again tomorrow with our show Outline at 2 p.m. So stay tuned and keep watching TTV.